the I Eats. Today I'm going to show you a lovely little recipe for a gourmet sausage roll. Now every time I make these there's a queue at the door, so they're dead easy, minimal fuss, but come on, I'll let you into the secret. This is store-bought puff pastry, but I'm going to show you a little trick with this, just using a bit of butter. So we're going to turn that more into like a croissant type of pastry. We've got some really good sausages. These are from Gibson's Butchers at Suffolk. Some shallot, quite a lot of shallot. There's about 5 shallot here. Good whack of herb. You know, we've got rosemary, thyme, and sage. We need 1 egg, salt and pepper, and a few sesame seeds. Now this pastry is out of Lidl, and it's really quite. It's probably just over £1 or something. But to transform your bought pastry, just take a little bit of butter and just spread that nice and gentle across your actual pastry base itself. Okay, you don't need to be too neat about this. Fold that over in half, and then take another little bit of butter onto this section here. And what this does, the reason I do this is because when that fat melts into this pastry, it creates steam, and the steam then makes the layers between the pastry just really expand. So you get a really good puff coming from it. So that now needs to go back into the fridge, and then we're going to roll that out when it cools down a bit. I find these little things are dead handy for getting shallot down to a very fine paste very quickly. So we're just going to put our shallot and all our herbs into that. A touch of pepper, touch of salt, and let's just get that, you know, in seconds you've got like a really fine shallot. So we get our heat on, we need a little bit of butter and a touch of olive oil. Now we don't really want to burn these onions here, we just want to sweat them down. So this heat shouldn't be too high, so just turn that down a little bit lower. And then go our onions and herb mix. So you just put a little bit of water into the bottom of that. That goes in, and it helps. It just helps steam this. But you'll see you get an empty and clean doofer dangle. That's what we call it. I didn't know whether to tell you about this or not, but this is the actual proper secret. This is balsamic vinegar, and balsamic vinegar, when you put it with shallot onion, creates this like a powerhouse of flavor that goes through really anything. Quite a chunk of the balsamic into that. You'll see how that changes. Now what we want to do is reduce that away down until this becomes like almost like a kind of syrup. These sausages are absolutely wonderful. I don't buy sausage meat because the meat that goes into these is very different to the sausage meat you buy in butchers. Now I know at Gibson's they just use the loin of pork on this, which is why these taste so good. So if you really want very good gourmet sausage rolls, my advice is to go to a proper butcher's and get good sausages. Our onion and balsamic mix has come down. Really, there's no liquid left at all in that. We have 10 sausages in here. You could use less, you could use more, depending on how thick you want the actual meat element to your sausage roll. And then we just give this a mix. We've cooled this onion mix so that it doesn't melt the fat in the sausage. So that's that mixed right through. Okay. And what we want to do is just divide that into 2. I'll show you why in a second. Right. Our pastry's had about 20 minutes just chilling there, okay, whilst we're doing everything else, but you see it's nice and firm, cold. So what we're going to do is re-roll that out again. Now I know that's a little bit sort of a little bit more hassle than just buying a piece of shop bought and just using it like that, but honestly the difference that this makes to a piece of standard puff pastry is remarkable. So let's just get that out. So you want it about that thick, but so firstly what we do is just cut that straight down the middle. with a little egg wash. And then we paint both sides of that. This is why we've divided our sausage meat into half. Okay, so just roll that down. Okay, as neat as you can get it, you know. And honestly, the difference between this and shop-bought sausage rolls is night and day, folks. You can see how good that meat is, how thick the filling is, how, you know, God knows what they're putting into that stuff that you get in the supermarkets, but every time I eat them, they should be served with a packet of Rennie. Now let's put our roll into our sausage rolls. So just flick that over the top. And then just hold nice and tight as you go the whole way along. And that will just stick that up very naturally. And we want to leave that fold on the bottom. I just like to chop in half again. Okay, in half, in half, in half, and just keep going doing it. Nice sharp knife helps at this stage. So we get a little bit of greaseproof paper. This little seam goes down. Okay. And again, just keep an eye on that. Every time I make these, people go, "Why didn't you make more?" So last stage is just a little bit of egg wash on top. Okay, I like a few sesame seeds. These are going into the oven for around about half an hour, okay, at 180, center of the oven. Okay, so our sausage rolls have had just about half an hour there. I've turned the oven off about 5 minutes ago, just to let them rest in their own sort of residual heat. Personally, I like to eat these with, as my dad would call it, a bit of Barney Ross, which is brown sauce. A lot of people don't, but here we go.